Constructive free time. This is a very important video because it is going to talk about what you do outside of work, what you're doing with your time outside of your job and school, things that are required for you to live. This is going to be what separates the winners from the losers. This is literally it. What you do outside of work, outside of school, outside of your requirements is going to be what separates you from everyone else, or what determines you, how you use your free time, like how you use this time. What are you doing with your free time? Because I don't really necessarily count a job or school, because you need that. You need money to live, so you have to go to your job, and you need to go to school. It's required. You have to do these things. But what I count and what truly matters is what you're doing outside of these things. Are you putting in extra hours studying? Are you going to the gym after school or work? Those are the two main things. Are you working on something like a side hustle business? Are you working longer hours? Let's say you work your normal day at work. Let's say you work, instead of 8 hours, you work a 16-hour day. Are you doing that? Are you, instead of watching TV and eating Doritos, are you going online, researching online, learning something new, something you had no idea about? Are you doing that? Are you using your time constructively? That is the title of this video. Constructive free time. How are you using your free time? Is it towards you? Is it benefiting you, or is it disadvantaging you? That's up to for you to decide, and you know in your heart what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. You need to be using this time correctly, because that's really what determines the quality of your life. In my opinion, your free time, quote unquote, your time that you don't have to be at your job or work, this is really what determines who you are as a person. Because no one's telling you have to do this, no one's telling you have to do that, no one's telling you anything. It's up to you to decide what you're going to do with that time. And that person, whatever you decide to do, determines how your life will end up. So it's going to be very, very important for you to actually dial down on this and use your time constructively when you're not at your job and work. And this is why I emphasize Google Calendar every single day, so you know exactly what you're doing at exactly what time. Obviously, it's not going to line up exactly hour by hour, but it's going to be pretty close if you're doing everything correctly, and you're actually being diligent, you're being determined, and you're fighting for what you want in life, instead of just letting things slide, going about life and just expecting things to happen. That's not how it's going to work. You have to put in a massive amount of work, a massive amount of action for your life to change, and that's just the reality of how life works. So Google Calendar is going to be my number one thing I would tell you right now for this quote unquote constructive free time that you're going to be using constructively. And whatever the first thing comes to your mind when you have Google Calendar, what should I do? Should I read? Should I study for e-commerce? Should I, watch a successful person talk about this subject? Whatever the first thing comes to mind, you write that down and do it. Because most of the time, whatever comes to your mind first is at the highest of your mind that you need to attack immediately. So usually that's the thing you're weakest at. It's usually something you're really not very good at. And I'll never forget Eric Thomas say, somebody said, "Oh, I'm not good at math." And he said, "You're right, you never studied," which means if you don't put in the work, you don't put the effort, you're not going to get those results. You're not going to be good at math. So, and he said, another person said, "I'm not good at writing." He says, "Because you have never written before. So, the more you do something, the better you get at it." The message really comes out to me. The more reps you do, the more you do something, the better you're going to get. It's very, very normal for you to be really bad at something right away. It's how it happens all the time. But if you keep putting the effort in, you keep putting the work in day after day after day after day, you're going to see that compound over and over again. This is how life works. This is just how it is. And you have to put in the time, you have to put in the work if you want to see the results. And either that's a good thing for you if you look at it a good way, if you look at it a bad way. "Oh, I don't want to put this much time in," or you might say, "Oh, awesome, that's awesome." It doesn't matter if you think it's a good or bad thing. That's just the way it is. You just have to put in work. It's going to take time. It's going to take years. Give yourself 3 years minimum until you're efficient at a skill. Doing it every single day. 3 years minimum, then you're efficient. 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. These are these are the benchmarks I've learned over time of how you're going to beat a skill, and they're pretty accurate. And, you know, like lifting weights, for example, I started at 14 years old. I'm 25 now. It's been 11 years now. I'm pretty good at lifting weights now. I've been doing it 11 years. So if you do something long enough, you're going to get really good at it. Use your constructive free time. Use your free time constructively to your benefit and watch your life change. Google Calendar is going to be your best friend. That is the video I have for you. If you like this video, like the video, comment in the comment section, share this video if it helped you, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and we'll see you in the next one.